Athletes are feeling the heat, and new guidelines are keeping students safe.
Pardon us, Wendy.
Can they hear that over the TV?
I don't know if they can hear that over the TV. I hear it's nice and loud. Fox 9's Wendy Patrick joining us now. And what a topic to talk about on such a hot day again today.
You know, it's a perfect day to talk about it because, as Chrissy was just mentioning, not only is it hotter today than yesterday, but there's no relief in sight. What does that mean for student athletes? Now, this is not a new question. What is new is the guidelines that schools are following. And basically, in a nutshell, these are guidelines that are designed to keep students safe, but there's a little bit of pushback in that the guidelines are different in different areas. Understandably, we have Coastal and East County. And if the prohibitions are such that you can't practice as much as you'd like to during the daytime in East County as you can at the coast, well, is that in the spirit of leveling the playing field, or does that give you an advantage or disadvantage based on zip code?
It's been years that people have talked, is it too hot to play sports?
Right.
Is it too hot to practice, hot inside the classroom? So they're kind of trying to do something about it now. So the legal issues that we're talking about in allowing classrooms or students to be exposed to what is deemed extreme heat, how does that work?
Well, this particular regulation came from an assembly bill that was passed last October that mandated CIF come up with these extreme heat guidelines. Now, mandate guidelines, it sounds a little bit inconsistent, but other states have done this, and so it's happening here as well. And it's not a new idea, but it is new in that when you have this type of enforcement, it has to be done equally. So what that is looking like, they're following the law, but as a practical matter, you just heard the report that Chris gave us about, well, you're moving all of these activities indoors because you have extreme heat. Well, you can't move a football field indoors. You could build new stadiums, but you know, unless there's a lot of grant money lying around, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So you think through the way this is going to impact different sports. If you can't practice during the day, some people are practicing, some schools are having football practice at 6:30 in the morning, and then they shower and get to 8:30 class. Others are moving them to nighttime. But what does that do? The kids get home at 9 p.m., start their homework, eat, and then they're up again in the morning. It's too much.
But all these guidelines, Wendy, that are being put in place and these requirements are meant to protect the child, is meant to protect kid in the heat. I mean, we as adults can't go outside and you don't feel good. So if something happens to a kid, which unfortunately we've seen so many times we talk about on the show, who's responsible for that then?
Well, you look at the way in which there were lapses in following guidelines, following the law, taking precautions to make sure that students have a safe learning environment, whether they're in the classroom or whether they're out on the field, whether they're at lunch. That's why you see a lot of things being moved indoors. So when you talk about legislation that mandates CIF regulations, that's different than maybe potential tort liability for somebody not maintaining a safe premises on a school in a school classroom. It's one of the reasons you see those helicopters and they're lowering air conditioning units and they're doing everything they can legally to make sure that those students have a safe learning environment on campus. This is, what do you do when you have sports that you have to take place off campus, outside of the buildings? Now, let me even break it down a little bit farther. We just saw those visuals of football players and all the gear that they have to wear. How is that different from track and field? How is that different from volleyball? Are there any sports that can take place indoors? So these are some of the other complications that you see schools tackling in trying to comply, not just with the law, but also with these new CIF regulations.
I'm telling you, when these rules came out, some of the coaches in the microclimates that we have in San Diego said you can't say 86 because, and then they changed it to like, 86.2 or under 90 degrees. We were in touch with the Ramona High School football coach. They have a game in El Centro tomorrow night. And according to what we were looking at here, it's going to be, I almost have to quadruple check, but it says it's going to be 117 degrees at kickoff. Do you just cancel that game like you would a rain out because of liability?
Or you move it. You know, remember that we're talking about, you know, it's like in professional sports. Sometimes you have them in different places. You know, sometimes there's ways to accommodate that. One of the interesting things about your point, though, it reminds me of what you have to measure temperature by. Remember, we have different zones. It's something called the wet bulb globe thermometer. Now, what is that, right? Have you ever heard of that?
It's on Amazon.
Listen to this, right? You probably can buy it on Amazon. It measures temperature, humidity,
Yes.
cloud cover, wind speed, sun angle. One thing that
Everything.
isn't, but what about air quality? You know, we were just reporting on the fire in Riverside. So you think through all the conditions that go into how you can protect student athletes from the elements. And you wonder whether laws like this are going to now, you know, maybe spread to other kinds of activities that are outdoor. And especially when your example of El Centro is a perfect example of how did they do it in years past. Some coaches are speaking out and saying we're in a very good position to be able to not only monitor our athletes, but monitor the conditions. So you see there's all sorts of discussion in the mix about how these guidelines that are mandated are going to be put into practice.
That's a very good point, that they've been doing this forever and ever, but then the other side will say, well, yeah, but we've had one kid passing out and sadly dying from heat exposure is one kid too many. So things have to change and rules have to adjust to. All right, we'll see. Can you repeat? I don't know that I caught it. These regulations, are they statewide? Did I miss that part?
Well, it came from an Assembly Bill 1653 that was passed in October of 2023 that mandated the CIF, to implement mandated guidelines by July.
And that is statewide because that is the California
California Interscholastic Federation.
Yes.
And those were implemented by July, just in time for the end of summertime when it's hotter than ever.
Wendy Patrick, I tell you what, everything's a legal issue, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You guys are the right line of work.
The lawyers make a lot of money, that's right.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.